So today I went to Big Sur and did some landscape photography at Bixby Bridge. The reason why I chose landscape photography is because, like I said, I taught myself how to do this stuff, and the first thing that I did that made me feel the most comfortable was landscape photography. It kind of depends on what your flow is and how you feel being around people and being close to people. But starting out to get to learn your manual settings on your camera, so you can learn how to set your shutter speed, ISOs, and aperture. You want to go ahead and do some landscape photography. Do some long exposures at night, do some day stuff. So what I did this time was I did a little photo shoot because I kind of want to show y'all my workflow on Lightroom. A lot of people already on here are photographers already, and they're trying to get some tips and tricks on how to edit their photos or somebody else's workflow or whatever. That's kind of what I learned from too. So I like to give that tip to all the people that's following on here now. With that being said, I got some video that I'm going to put together, just a screen recording, and I'll be talking you through how I edit one of my photos and kind of my selection choices. But this is all artistic selection, like whatever you like. Whatever photos you like and whatever style you want to go with, you can take whatever I show you and use whatever you want from it. You don't have to do it exactly how I do it. Just like I told y'all before, it's everybody else's idea, everybody else is creative. Whatever you want to do, your creativity, let it take you wherever you got to go with it. And if you like it, that's all that matters. Nobody else has to like your stuff. It's basically you make yourself happy with it. Don't worry about what other people think. Because eventually somebody gonna look at it and be like, oh, that's fire. Like, I'm not into paintings, but for example, Picasso, bruh, people paying millions of dollars for a Picasso painting, and I swear to God, my daughter could do it today, the same paintings. But I don't know, maybe I just don't see something, but that's what it is. It's your art, it's whatever you like to do. You do what you do, and then keep working from that. I use this pad here. It's a Wacom Tablet. You can kind of draw on it or whatever, and it'll be like your mouse on your screen. It makes it a little bit easier. The presses are a little bit more accurate. It's almost like writing with a calligraphy pen, because the lighter you press, the more narrow the lines will be. So, and you can kind of pinpoint, zoom in. We'll do some of that because I got a photo that I just put one of my presets on and was like, oh yeah, this is gonna take some time, but this mug gonna be fire. All right, y'all, let's get into it right now. No delay. The preset doesn't even really matter for this video. I just want to show y'all that I had a preset here. This is my colors, my cars, photos, colors dropout. But damn, look at that Kobe Mamba snake looking straight robust. I'm feeling that a lot. So, and the black and white, I may not go that hard with it, but I do like that it's old looking photo. And I'm at the historic Bixby Bridge from 1932. So that's the vibe I want to go with a futuristic twist on my boy Kobe. And I might shine up these J's. Don't judge me on these J's. People that know me know my J's. Stay crispy. These are basically hiking J's. These is the air stroll-a-lots, if you will. So these is the air cut grass or whatever, you know what I mean? The air yardsmans. But basically that's what it is. So anyway, there's presets in here, and the preset that I use, colors dropout, it highlights reds and oranges and purples and then drops everything else. Because the cars that I was shooting when I made this was a red car, so I thought that was dope. Anyway, desaturate and contrast is a similar preset that you already have. So if you want to try to scroll through some presets and see kind of what you dig in, like what kind of vibe you want to go with, that's another way to do it. This is the one I want to try to emulate, and we're going to start it from scratch. You can go to here. I know there's another way to do it, but this is the way I do it. If you start editing something and you're done with it, or you want to go back to basics, click this. This is the original photo. And then go to the photo. Command C is going to copy the edit settings, and that's how you would make a preset as well. You Command C, and then you can save your preset. And then Command V will bring back the preset that I copied it and then pasted it. So we'll get into that too. So here we go. The first photo, these are in order, in my opinion, from where you should start. Sometimes you got to come back to the exposure and the blacks or the whites, but that's a good starting point. I start with the exposure. I like to overexpose it just a little bit, because my idea, like I said, I want to pop this color here, but I don't want to take it too far to where it's overexposed completely, and then you can see all that noise from being overexposed. So we're not even going to bring that up, because you want that in camera. You want it to be right in camera. But like I said, I got a new idea from scrolling through my presets. Here we go. So I bumped it up 0.6. Always shoot in RAW too. Don't shoot JPEGs, because then you don't have a lot of control over this stuff. The raw images, you can control it. So I want to bring the contrast up, because the bridge is the focus. That's my secondary focus at this point, though. My first focus is that snake, and that is that mamba and that Kobe logo. So we're going to bring the contrast up just a little bit, because I want that snake to pop. And you can just play with these guys, like run it either way just to see. My focus is right here on the detail in this right now. So you can bring this up. Don't go too low with the shadows, because I want the rest of the photo to look good, right? Alright, so let's go back to this. So I want to create a mask. I want to select subject. This is going to be the easiest way to pick just me out of the photo. But knowing you go too far on this photo or on this mask, it's going to make it look like you just photoshopped it. This is a real photo with me standing there. Don't overdo it and ruin that you have already a dope photo. Like, some people will just overdo but like I said, my focus is here. I just don't want to keep damaging the background. So I'm going to bring this highlight I'm talking about over the top probably, but it's only affecting this portion of the, and then I can take my head out of it, because I don't want to be looking weird up here on the top. Get some of this, my hand. There we go. So this is the mask that I want to. You can see All right. Get the rest of my hand out of there. Should edit this vape out. I need to quit. Alright. We're going to clean these air don't cares up in the next part of this edit. Alright. Let me speed this up anyway. So there's the mask. Now you see it's not affecting my head, so I can make my sweatsuit look a little bit more crispy. But once again, don't go too far because it's gonna look unnatural. But one thing we can do is play with these to see the scales on the snake. Man, that thing is starting to look dope if I go all the way to the right, but you also see that noise around it. So we'll bring that down a little bit with the dehaze, which is just basically, dehaze is gonna take the haze out. That's basically what it is. You go too far, it's gonna start blocking other things. So clarity is going to sharpen up the edges of things, right? Or dull them. So you can bring that up. Texture is exactly what it is. You can see the snake changing from going left and right. Sharpness, same thing. You know what it is. The noise reduction is what I'm going to go at now. Just because I don't want all of this fuzz on the top of me. Actually, let's go back to this because this might be the way it is. We'll just take this part off of the mask. There we go. And I hope this come out dope, man. Y'all gonna be laughing if it don't. Now I'm just hitting some of these creases that would otherwise be gone if I went too hard on the contrast or the noise reduction. I don't even want to use noise reduction at this point because I took that top off. Alright, so now what you can do is either create another mask, select subject again. So now you have this mask. We don't want that one. All right, so now you have this mask that's been edited, and then you have this mask. The reason why I select this same select subject again is because you can come here and then up to the right you can invert it. Now I have capability to just change the whole backdrop, and the picture that this portion of it is already edited, so you can try to color match to bring it all back together. But you see, you go too far. Once again, it looked like I just faked this. Pull myself off the thing, be even more weird. But I went a little bit darker, so we can either do that with the contrast, the exposure, or the black point. See? And it's already starting, even with just the black point, it's already starting to do what I want. I'm just looking at the highlights and the shadows because the colors are about to change. So I think to bring these highlights up would be nice because that's going to give you more of a HDR, like a more high contrast, right? Because you're bringing the darks down and you're bringing the whites up. Makes these lines look a little bit sharper. A little bit more contrast to just dim it. And then now that I think the lighting is close, we can leave that and go back to this portion here, which is the whole image. Once you close that mask, this is going to do the whole image. All right, and remember, Command Z brings you back to whatever you did. This is Command Z. All right, so we've done this portion, both sides of the photo, the subject and the background. That's why I tell you, I think this is in order already. Usually this will be your next stop. Color temperature. You can do whatever you want there. You can make this thing look super blue, cool, or warm. And that's one way to do it. Your tints, you can do something like that. A lot of people like to have, like if you're doing an Instagram photo, a lot of people like to have a kind of a themed wall, so it looks like, and it's also a style. Like if all my photos had that purple tint, you would know for sure that was a Swizz photo. But even for me, I haven't found a specific, I mean, I guess there's stuff sometimes if you look at my photos, you can kind of see, sorry about this squeaky chair. I'm gonna get this changed out. You can see stuff, I guess, that I do, but for the most part, I'm all over the place with it. Still learning with y'all. So this is the colors that what we want to do. Once again, I'm looking at that snake because I don't want to over vibrance, right, and make it look weird. And that's weird to me. The saturation, I do want to bump it up. And then this one right here, the colors is, sometimes this isn't open, so sometimes it looks like this. You just click this arrow here, go to the red, start from left to right. That's what I do. I like the red in the J's, so using caution, I'll go back and forth just to see what else is being affected, right? So it's a little bit of the vape. My skin tones are gonna lay right here in this red, orange, and this magenta. All right, so if you see the orange, immediately I start going pale, and that's for black people and white people. The orange is gonna be, and the red is gonna be the most dominant that you'll see. So since I'm not facing the camera, it saved me. I'm just gonna go ahead and make them J's look crispy. Not too crispy, because once again, you don't want to Photoshop it and be looking like I was in a green room. Scared to take this orange down too far, because look at what it's doing to my hand. I got a purple hand, but I don't want to take away the purple, because the purple is part of the mamba. All right. This luminance, that could be a game changer too. But use caution, because it's just brightening and darkening the color. You can use it kind of to bring up some shadows or whatever, like I'm trying to do here. So I'm gonna bring up the shadows. I'm gonna take this yellow down almost all the way. See, again, that's the most dominant color in this photo. See how much has yellow in it. Alright, so we want to lose the greens, lose the blues, and the aquas. Magenta, you gotta go. And sometimes I'll go to these colors that are part of the kind of the backdrop of the image that I'm trying to, this right here that I'm trying to change. So I'm looking at it now because I don't want to have my, if I gotta lose the J's, I gotta lose the, if the J's gotta go, they gotta go. But then I look dead a little bit right there. I don't know. We may just only have the purple. Alright, so I'm just gonna try to brush this mask on. Because the shirt is black, so there's no colors there. Okay. Boom. There we go. Yeah, we'll keep that purple popping. It's gotta be the Laker colors. We'll just play with it again. This is in the mask. The more you play with these colors, the more you'll start to realize how effective a lot of these things are. Like now I'm bringing it down so you can still tell that it's part of the shirt. Like I didn't just lay this on. All right. And then let's go ahead and let's save the J's, y'all. We gotta save the J's, man. This is not, you know, the J's are important. Even though these is the bust downs, I feel like they are very important. Alright. So we'll create another mask. We'll brush it. And see. The size of it, of the mask. Over here you can adjust the size. So this is about to be a little bit more detailed. You're gonna hit Command plus to zoom in. If you're using the mouse, you can go up and down with the scroll to make the size bigger or smaller. Command minus to move it out. All right, hold on. It's easier to, because that mask is gonna mark anytime I touch it. Dang, y'all get to see the bust downs up close and personal. But you ain't gonna be able to tell when this is done. I hope. They kind of busted. Look at these creases. Alright, enough of that. So create a mask, brush. You have the size that you want. And if you have a Wacom tablet, you can draw this in. If not, you can use the mouse. And it's alright if you go over just a little bit, because you can always subtract. You can always subtract this as well, just like a eraser. As a matter of fact, I'll go over just so, because that's the easier way anyway. Filling this in, because I just want these reds to pop. You see I'm hitting all kinds of out of pocket. Just like these J's, they out of pocket. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm done with that, but because I didn't take my time, I created a little bit extra work. But just like I said, subtract with the brush, same process. You see it on there. Oh look, it's showing me over there like I don't know how to do it, but you just go in here, you take your time. Get that red off of the white, which it really wouldn't matter because there's no red in this. So for the saturation being bumped up, it's not gonna hurt it. But if you were doing something, you know, a little bit more intricate, or you just didn't want the colors to bleed out for this style of photo, all right, so gotta have that swoosh tight, you know what I mean? You gotta have that. And I know y'all gonna say Swizz's shoe game is trash, but don't get me started. These the only ones, literally the ones that's struggling for now. All right. So all I did there was color that in, erased out what I didn't mean to color in, and then I can show y'all a cool little trick for making y'all think I was up there looking saucy when Lord knows these shoes was in charge of my, oh my goodness, they would bust down. All right, so here we go. All right, so the mask is created. Now the crazy part is with this, right? So Boom, I'm gonna bump the saturation up. That way now I can look at it. All right, is that mask good? No. So I need to fill it in a little bit more. These J's, they really don't wanna they really don't wanna do it. You know what I mean? But they had to. God did. Alright, here we go. Alright, so let's see, we'll add, there we go, add with the brush. Just to fill this back in, some of these spots was a little uncared for. And you can adjust this over here too. The flow is like how much flow of ink. The density is the density of it, right? Feathers. You can feather the edge. If you look at that plus sign, see the plus sign? The size is the whole thing. And then feathering it is gonna feather it. Oops. Is gonna feather it, right? So the line is crisp and sharp like this. But you feather it. So I kind of want it to be a little bit more crisp. Tighten it back down to size. And I turn the flow up because I think that's what was causing me to not fill in. Oh yeah, there you go. They're not crispy yet, but they getting there. Alright. Bring these bust down laces back. Oh man, I'm gonna have to erase that. Alright. Bring that. I wonder if it even matters. Nope. So, just like I said, if you look, see I'm coloring in the white portion. This is also red, so I can get that. I thought I was going to have to really draw in. So I'm coloring the white and the black. But if you had, like I said, if you have something a little bit more intricate, don't do that. Because you're going to be turning up the saturation on everything. But in my case, I'm lucky that I got some bust downs. See, I know y'all ain't got none that's bust down like this, but you better think about it. All right. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to erase that edge. And this edge, you see that yellow? That's the sand that the bust downs was walking through. It was rough out there, y'all. Okay. I don't know that one. But I ain't even finna get all into that. Alright. Because once we zoom out, but so here we go. So I can change the color of these shoes if I didn't highlight everything. Or color in the blacks and stuff like that. It would make it easier to actually just change the whole shoe. Okay. Edge sharp. And I can't draw today, y'all. Alright, some of this I'm gonna have to fast forward through. So that's the one we want to affect. I can change my shoe game on y'all, you know. The bust downs was busted. We about to mamba them joints up. Try to match the color up top. It's either that or try to find the yellow. Nah. Alright, so it's obviously the saturation on them is crazy bright. So I'm gonna bring that down to something a little bit more respectable. It was red, they purple. I'm matching again, right? We can dim that down with the blacks, but you see how my sloppy penmanship was causing some grief. Yeah. Okay, so that's all that is that overlapping. You can see it too. All right. All right. I'm cool with that. I'm just trying to be quick about it because I don't want to run y'all's day into the ground with a weird edit. So now we're back to the whole photo again. The next object is color grading. This is going to do all the midtones and highlights for the whole image. All right. So this one, I'm not sure how people like to start, but this shows you all three. This is selecting them each individually. That's what I like to do, is select them individually so I can go in and do my shadows first. And it's gonna bounce around, playing the game, seeing what I like. I don't want to have too much purple, I don't think. But again, I like the old bridge with the future Swiss. So we'll go the shadows into the orange and a little red. We'll go opposite with the mid-tones. And it don't take much. You go too far, you change the whole photo. I'm like right on the edge. I'm talking about 2 out of 100. And it's making a drastic difference, right? So I like to hang out on the opposite side with the highlights. The shadows was up in here, and I hang out on the opposite side with the highlights. But the midtones is gonna be basically like flesh and all that. So I'm trying to fix that in. We'll go up there. And then the highlights, like I said, to the opposite side. We don't want it to look too touched. There we go. And this is the global. This is going to change everything at once. See? Highlights, midtones, and shadows will start to move. And then you fall into the spot where you feel like it was right. I like that. Now, the next? Effects, textures. You can bring all this stuff up, which is real Instagrammy, to go hard on the contrast and the clarity. Even the dehaze, I've seen that as well, but let's be sensible a little bit. It's a powerful tool. This was a foggy day at Bixby, so I'm cool with a little bit of haze. In fact, I'll even let it take a little bit more. The texture, if you see, you go left, it's taking all the rocks and the sand, the edges, everything soft on the clarity. I meant clarity. So now it's a little bit more clarity. But I don't want to go too hard because I still want it to look natural. The texture, same thing as clarity, but it almost is like a noise reduction in my opinion. You can use that as a noise reduction. If you got a lot of noise, you just pull this texture down. But I want that Mamba to be pretty crispy, so I'm up +4, +9 on that, -9 on that, and then the vignette is gonna hide them J's. Oh, hide them J's. Hide them. Nah, we ain't going that hard. What I like to do with the vignette is move it over to where you can kind of see what's going on with the line. My midpoint usually starts about here, but I move this vignette here. Actually, this is what you will see. I don't know why this is all selected already. So the vignette, you move until it's like, in my opinion, just a little bit, because you want it to look like the camera did this, not you. You don't want it to look like a RIP Swizz photo with the white. Just bring it this way just a little bit. Let's go 24 for Kobe. And then the midpoint, I'll bust that thing all the way to the left because I'm planning on coming here and feathering it completely out. So it just basically is darkening the edges of the photo. Highlights is how you keep all your highlights, all this white that you want. The grain, like this, like I said, I wanted this to be an older looking photo. It'd be kind of cool to have a little bit of grain in it. Boom, right there. I'm still working on the grain aspect of my stuff, guys. I don't use grain at all. But for this photo, I really think it's kind of cool. And there we go. Take a step back. What you think? Sometimes I'll save it there and come back and look at it tomorrow and be like, oh, okay, them J's was too busted. I need to crop them out. But honestly, I can deal with that. Man, they busted, y'all. Alright. So remember I said you could take your own presets and LUT packs or whatever they call these things nowadays. Command C, you see right there, copy edit settings is what happened. And then I can just say, all right, I like that. It's the same lighting, the same photo, same area. Command V will give you the same color settings. Now the mask and stuff that I had, sometimes it'll come up here. Actually, I take that back. Command Z, take that away. If you come in here and right click, you can see all these other options, right? You can go to Photoshop if you want, put it in your albums. There we go. Then you come up these three dots on the side. You click that, and it says choose edit settings to copy. click the masking here. Actually, that won't even work because it will use these same maskings. If I just had the select subject, it would actually work. So, but you can choose all that, the healing, if you're doing maybe you're layering a photo, you want to do something like that, or you had something simple, you can do that. But dang, the J's look even more busted. I tried to climb down here, y'all. But anyway, that's the end, man. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'll post this and then I'll do I guess, time-lapse version where you can not hear me talking the whole time and then just see what I was doing, the needles moving and stuff like that. But thanks for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. One.